Welcome to Talks with Andrea
and Brooke,
episode 39.
You're 39, guys.
Can't wait for 40.
I know. I think we should celebrate. But let's not get ahead of one.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But we've got a lot in store for you guys today and for the whole month of August. How are you doing, my love?
I am doing fabulous. How are you doing?
Yeah, rest, my baby.
Yes, someone is glowing. Someone came in here hot and heavy. Someone just came and said, I am feeling hype. I'm feeling the energy. This one is on a high. I hope that our vibes transcends to you guys.
But has it been a good week? It's only Tuesday.
You know what? I thought it was Thursday. Honestly, I've been working so hard, but work feels like good. It feels productive. So
no, that's good.
And
that's
you?
Good. No, life is good regardless. Die in here. But anyway, guys, welcome back to Talks with Andrea and Brooke, episode 38. Mm-hmm. We are taking you to
39.
39. You can't keep up with the numbers anymore.
I know.
But today, we got a special guest. We are yet again doing a live streaming for the second time.
I feel like that's like our new thing. But guys, don't get ahead of yourself. We got many things planned.
We do. We'll get some people in now shortly. But yeah, we got Mike and Andrea all the way from the UK. But where they're originally from?
Yeah, they're from Westbury in Joburg.
That's right. So yeah, guys, we're going to get into it. Find out why they immigrated. What is so liquor in the UK? Because you know it's liquor in South Africa.
Yes.
You know? So yeah, let's get into it. Right, so episode 39, I got it wrong earlier. So guys, you are streaming with people that's originally from South Africa but currently living in the UK. We have Andrea and Mike living in the UK. Hello Andrea, Mike, how are you doing today?
We're doing fine. Thank you, Tamara and Brooke. Nice to meet you guys.
Lovely to meet
That's good, that's good. So guys, yet again, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you guys are 1 hour behind. Is that right? So we're 1 hour ahead of you. Are you guys good? How's it feel? First podcast?
It is our first podcast, and we follow social media a lot, and we've not wanting to be superstars or anything, but it's just a great thing to explore and to build our confidence in expressing ourselves.
No, 100%. 100%. All right, well, let's get into it. Yet again, welcome and thank you so much for your time. I know it's been a long time coming. Me and Mike have been a bit in chat, but I also took 1 month leave because, life gets a lot. But let's start with the basics. Tell us, where did the inspiration come from to immigrate to the UK? And where exactly in the UK do you stay?
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Okay. So we stay in Letchmore Heath, so that it's 40 minutes outside of London, outside of central London.
Okay.
It's in a county called Hertfordshire, so it's north of London.
Yeah, so Hertfordshire, imagine Gauteng, and then let's say you live in Roodepoort.
Yeah.
So we in Letchmore, Hertfordshire, and then Watford.
No, it's Hertfordshire. Watford is a city close to us.
Yeah, Watford is the biggest city close to us. So imagine Hertfordshire at Gauteng.
Yeah.
And so we stay in Letchmore, which is a small village. I think about just a few hundred people. So it's so contrasting to, especially for myself, coming from the big city of Johannesburg.
Yes.
It was a big plus.
Liquor. No, that's nice. And I mean, was it to move to farmland or where did the inspiration come from? Job, or is it anything like that, or just want to get out of South Africa? We miss you guys.
Yes. I think just the important narrative that we just want to get out there is that coming to the UK was one of our very, very, very last thoughts. It was the last thing on our list to say, okay, if we don't, nothing else works, we come into the UK. Just an important thing to note, we had been here in 2005, 2007, when we were much younger. So we married now 21.
I'm 21 years old.
21 years old. See, I got it right. So we were much younger. We came to explore. We enjoyed it, but we were younger and we said, let's go home, we missed the weather. We had a 5-year visa, we only stayed 2 years. So just come back to the question, like, did we want it specifically and why we got here? So it's purely because we didn't get work at all.
Okay.
We were applying, Andrea's in occupational therapy. I do media and photography, mainly photography.
Nice.
And, we were, on my side, I was just realizing I'm not getting the connections and jobs anymore. I'm not in the network anymore. And Andrea was the same. We one time we even went straight to Pretoria for Andrea's application. Directly to the company.
Not once.
Once, twice, yeah.
No,
5 times.
I can believe that.
Very clear.
Because I think, like, just adding on to what Mike said, it wasn't a pull, it was a push.
Like a push.
So we were literally pushed to make choices for our life of where we're going next. And I was pushed out of my job.
Okay.
And then workplace bullying, basically. Then I applied everywhere in the country. And just couldn't find anything, and then I got a job with a local NGO that I had a lot of networks with over the years. They couldn't afford me, so we basically got to a point where Michael woke up one morning and said to me, the whole world is looking for you, because for the last 3 years I've been getting emails from LinkedIn from New Zealand, Australia, Canada, the UK, and Ireland as well, where they like saying, we got offers, we're interested in you, but we just kept wrapping it up. It was like a joke. And then he woke up with one morning and he said, you know what, everybody else is looking for you. Why? The doors are closed at home. Maybe this is a move from God, somewhere else. And that's how it started.
And it happened so fast after that. We were here literally, it took us about a year.
Okay.
Protest and paperwork and a lot.
6 months. 6 months to get over.
Because Andrea came a bit earlier than I came. She came 3 months before me.
And I got the job within 2 weeks of opening up my everything. And I'm talking since 2018 I was job hunting at home.
Wow.
Most times I heard I was overqualified, they can't afford me. I applied for national government post and I soon realized that I'm not going to get anywhere because I'm not politically affiliated.
And despite also, Andrea had done masters. Took her 4 years, to do the masters in public health. Even that didn't add up. Because, just getting a simple job. And I think, the same for me in photography. And then, like Andrea said, we made the decision. And so, in short, we did all the paperwork. Everything went smooth. Which is sometimes even questionable, like, why did it go so smooth? You know what I mean? So anyway, we got here. And then Andrea got here 3 months for me. And we were working sort of in correspondence, and then she found this place that we staying at now. We did ask, we prayed about the, very peaceful and safe environment. And then the place came through, Andrea had to, imagine not knowing where you're going in the beginning.
Much scary.
I had to do maps for back home and say, this is where you need to go, this is where you need to go, left here, right there. And then she found the place after about 3 or 4.
After months, but the reason we landed up in this place, you were asking earlier, it's because of our dog. Because our dog came with us and we had to put agent, because a lot of the landlords are not pet friendly. So we signed up with an agency, and the agent helped us find this place, and this is how we landed up so rural for our dog. But it's been a really, really good thing, because I think without him, we probably would have been more on the outskirts of London, more in a city. But because of him, yeah.
So you see on TikTok, I'm trying to use a star there.
I see that. No, thank you very much for that. I mean, rural, it sounds like it's tranquil at the same time.
And I wanted to find out, just on the side there, I know a friend of mine went over with 2 dogs to Australia, and it was expensive. The medicals, the vetting process, and then flying over was a stressful thing. Was that the case with your dog?
Yes. When we were making this decision, we could never leave our dog. We said, no, we've got to do this with it. It costs more than us getting over here. And paperwork and medical tests and things like that. We've got to file like that. just you find a ticket and home. So we passed all the tests and all that. And interesting story, when Andrea had been here, our dog, so when him and I had separate flights. So up here, when I came, I don't know if you remember, we were flight to Dubai. And then I was stuck at the airport. So the timing was, I was supposed to get 3 days here before him. And then I couldn't get a flight. I only got a flight 48 hours later. But I managed to get a direct flight, not via Dubai. But our dog, his name is Toro. He went via Dubai. Then he got stuck in Dubai because of the flood. He had visited Dubai. I hadn't even and
the provisions of...
He was stuck here for a week. And then he came here. And then, safely they did a great service, So it's an adventure, man.
The dog, the adventure.
No, amazing story. All right.
Right, so Mike, when we spoke, you mentioned a vivid memory growing up in Westbury during apartheid. A simple yet fulfilling childhood. Can you paint a picture of one specific moment that still sticks with you, that shaped who you are today?
Yes, I think I'm just going to speak about what's currently happening in Westbury.
Yes.
I follow everything, the crime and things and rather than gangs. And it's so contrasting to where we are right now, It's so peaceful and tranquil. I'm very sad, see what's happening. When I think about my memories growing up, I grew up in, there was gang culture, drug culture. But back in the sort of early 90s, 80s, I remember, it was paper. Life was just more simpler. We never had all the tech and technology and the sort of, that's where we almost like voyeurs to each other. And despite those challenges, it was in the apartheid days, it was simpler. The drug communities were outside of Westbury, and the gang culture was also not, it never penetrated the communities as much as it is now. And it was just simpler, it wasn't a bed of roses anyway, it was so dangerous, but not to the level that it is now.
No, all right. And when moving from country to country comes with surprises. Were there any cultural shocks, or how can you compare it to South Africa? I think in the previous conversation, we mentioned about shoplifting, Andrea, or something, with no intervention or something like that. So what was the cultural differences there?
I think...
Tell us, we want to know.
I think that was a major culture shock for me, because I think we used to, when you see things, everybody's going to react, and anybody, even if it's the aunt in the street that will call you out,
Fair enough.
Yeah. The first time I saw it happen, I thought it was once off. It was in a shop, and it was these youngsters. They were taking paracetamol, putting it in. And I was looking around, and I'm looking, nobody's doing anything. And they literally walked out of the store, past the security guard. So I thought, oh, okay, that was one. So then, 2 weeks later, I witnessed another thing, to the point by the time Michael came, I witnessed my first one. Then I witnessed the sixth one with Michael in it's a place called Great. It's almost like that they sit and stuff. The guy walked in, he took the juices, he took some pictures, he walked out. Nobody did anything. So we started asking people like locals, what happening? And then I said, well, the security guards are not allowed to come to anything. So they're allowed to come, they are not allowed. They come, they're taking things, and then certain stores will call the police, and the police will go and find them at their homes.
Okay.
But you're not allowed to,
So arrest him and go on like we would go on in South Africa. Not recht and, be full of.
I never wanted to make a scene.
Yeah.
Public disturbance.
Interesting.
Was like, oh, grab that guy, But we just that frozen like, what?
Your instinct is to like
React.
go to the one. We went to the security guard, and you was like, "No, it's fine." You just show it.
I wonder if the shop owners have like some sort of insurance that covers them, and they're like, it's fine.
I'm sure.
I've seen some shop. Say you pay for something at the door. I've seen a lady with a body cam.
Yes, they like those body cam stories there. Eh? Car cams and all the cams that you can get.
Body cam, and then just your question again. What did the shopkeeper do?
Yeah, I'm thinking like, maybe the shop owners have insurance or something so that they're so blasé about it.
I'm sure they do.
And the other thing they steal is liquor.
They like to drink.
Where are our security tight, eh? We tight when it comes to liquor.
Yes. Back home in your community is also much better though.
Right? No, lovely. Thank you for being honest about that. We appreciate it. So,
No, true, eh?
So you mentioned that both of you lived in the UK briefly for 2 years when you were younger and that. So how did that shape your expectations of the UK life this time around compared to like the reality of it? Especially with changes like migrate tensions and rapid infrastructure development.
Yeah. So when we got here the first time, we stayed outside of London, and then we stayed there for 9 months, and then we connected with some South Africans in London, and then we moved from outside of London into central London in an area called Stratford, and we were I think we were about a total of 9 of us. North Finchley, London, just the 2 of us, and then we moved to out here in London, Stratford. We were about 9 of us, all of us South African, and it was more community type thing, and we were much younger. Like I said, just recently, about 2 or 3 months ago, we went to go revisit where we used to live.
Oh.
So Stratford is now, since we left there, they hosted the Olympics. And it's all the infrastructure completely changed. But luckily we found the exact place where we stayed, and we took some photos. And I remember like a kebab shop that we used to go to and eat cheap chicken, man. I don't know, if you eat that now, you will die. I don't know how we survived. The shop was still there, and we sort of did a memory walk there. But the infrastructure, London is now, it's looking like New York City. And, what's the other thing?
I think, like you said, our past experience prepared for the people. We knew that the weather's bad and crappy. So the first time we came, we didn't know that it was bad. So we were really, really spoiled brats because we were complaining about it all the time.
Can you imagine?
So coming this time around, we knew that the weather's bad. It's going to be mind-boggling. I mean, we are a lot more mature than we were.
I hope so.
We got to look for the positives out of this experience, and we got to make the most of it. So we knew that the weather is bad. Then also I think the other thing, what surprised me a lot was how diverse England got compared to 20 years ago. 20 years ago. It was so much more diverse. It actually shocked me because the reason we moved to London 20 years ago was because we were looking for diverse integration. Now, wherever we go, in the Indians we've been so far, it's so world here, and 20 years ago we didn't see that. So that was a big document from the first time we came around.
Just a now.
Yeah.
You realize why Europeans, just buy a good jacket, a pair of shoes, you just prepare yourself, you know what I mean?
I can totally agree with that. I mean, if we look at it just on social media today, the nationalities is vast. From South Africa, you find every nationality is actually there. We thought that South Africa is what do you put it, the rainbow nation, but I mean just as much there. There's even more kind of nationalities there. But you also mentioned something, Mike, about a funny story about self-checkout. So here we still got our tellers, we still got a packer here, we still get attitude here. Why are we still struggling with check? Let's just start about self-checkout in South Africa.
I can imagine. Hey, the crime.
Or the one. But yeah, tell me, why did you struggle with self-checkout? And tell me the process of it, because I can't imagine me.
Not here in South Africa.
Tell us more about self-checkout.
So whenever we go to, so your equivalent of checkers, right?
Yes.
Pick up day. Go Tesco. And Asda, right? So whenever we go, and I say that we're going shopping, then I'm saying I'm going to work because it's like you feel like you're working there.
Yeah.
So what?
Okay.
You go. There's two options.
Yeah.
There's a scanner. So what you do is you take your bags, like your carry bags already in your empty, and there's a scanner, so you scan the prices yourself, and then you put the stuff in your bag already. By yourself, in your trolley or your bag, you start packing already as you thought. And when you get to the end, you could scan the barcode and do it, right? And
yes, I saw that, yeah. I saw that part, yeah.
So, but Andrea, with my story there was, when I got here, so I was so chicken-minded,
yes.
Packers.
Yeah.
So she just left me and she said, now we're not going to pay. I didn't realize, so there's shelves, so you go, and then you got to the machine, and then you got to scan each barcode, and then you got to put your groceries this side, because the thing is stuck into the machine.
Yes.
Then you scan, and then you put it the other side, then it weighs both sides.
You're the dealer and the packer.
Yeah. So it's like, what?
You can be the man also if you want.
And then the funny thing, there was a lady that, so Andrea was watching me, and I was so confused, and she was shouting me, like, don't do it, like this, and do it, because she needed to get the wheels turning. There's people coming behind you, and they're watching you, and yo. And Andrea just had a good laugh about it. But now, you've become an expert. But it's still work, man. It's work, I tell you, like, scam.
Okay, now interesting. Thank you for sharing that. But do you think when do you think South Africa will get into this innovation and technology? Do you see it coming yet?
Yes, I actually wanted to tell you. Funny thing is, in 2023, you guys know Merlin, the hardware store. So we went to Leroy Merlin in 4 ways. And that was in Joburg. And that Leroy Merlin had one little self-checkout. And I remember I got excited. And I said to Michael, please, can we go to that thing? And he was like, let's just go to the normal one. So I don't know if Leroy Merlin has expanded on that, whether they were testing it out.
Okay.
But I don't know whether it will take off at home because it's going to take jobs away.
Yeah.
We need our jobs.
We need our jobs.
What's interesting is that, those are first world things, right? And if you think about our country, South Africa, is aspiring, be more innovative. We're always excited when things like that happen. But it brings its own problems also. Like what we call here, first world problems. Folks here in this village, like, for example, their problems are what bunnies must be used, There's no crime at all here in this village. There's no people wandering around or anything.
There's no bars,
yeah, so which bunny is going to be out there, and then it can be a whole drama. I still don't know which bunny we need to use. We just call it one bunny and that's it.
No liquor. No, can you imagine?
So,
Strong challenges,
yeah, 100%. So, let's talk about lifestyle, Mike and Andrea. So, you mentioned missing the sense of a community in South Africa, right? How does the sense of community in the UK compare? And what do you do to stay connected to your South African roots?
I know there's a shop or two there somewhere. A very well-known shop where they sell South African goodies or stuff. Have you visited that shop? I'm not too sure the name of it. It's straight on TikTok. Mike will probably know.
There's one here in
our,
what we call our Gauteng, which is Hertfordshire.
Okay.
So to get to a place, it's not that easy really. You gotta have a car, or you gotta understand the bus system or whatever. So what you gotta do is, like you said, you need to go and find boulevard or whatever. But it's not that easy.
Yeah. So you were asking about how we keep that sense of community and how the community, right? So it's a major like adaptation and how you look at things. I think for me it's easier in a sense because I work at the hospital, and the hospital I work at, strangely enough, the first day I walked in, I actually told Mike, I said to Mike, I feel like I'm at home because there's more people from Africa than English people at my hospital.
Wow.
Okay.
We three South Africans. I was the first one, and the other two came along afterwards. But so there's a huge African community. However, we serve the English community, so that's what we keep balanced. So in a sense, for me, I've been able to connect with people at work, and then we together have been trying to connect. We joined the local church, and the church is the complete opposite of where I'm working. So it's extremely English, and it's not as diverse as where I'm working. But it's all about, I think Michael's been really good at connecting with people online compared to me. So I think we can talk more about that. But it's hard. It's a lot of hard work to build connections. A lot of work.
Yeah, very hard. I mean, we come from this community, your neighbors, your friends, and you make South Africans in general make a lot of connections. So the people at our church community love South Africans. So friendly and things like that. Yeah. So, but I don't think they understand our culture. When our deal with problems and things like that. So just come back to, I always follow what's happening back home, especially Western. I follow the lines of going into communities and I think I must being hands-on. I got a desire to be there and understand and the language and wanting to make a difference and things like that. So I do photography, and in 2013, I studied photography, and I did a course where my theme, I'm doing a series of photographs of my community, to show the good side of it and a bit of the gang culture and things like that. So I also work in youth development in Westbury. I was part of an NGO that started there that still operates and runs. So when I watch these community, you want to just be there, want to really, be on site and trying to make changes and things like that. And in contrast here, the similar communities like us are mostly in central London, but also not even very much the same, even though there's certain areas that are, the need that is similar to back home. You still got to make connections and so,
100%. It's all about networking.
And be helpful. So you got to rebuild. We are rebuilding our connections here, and trying to bring our experiences and to these communities, and then so it's you try and fill the gap where we miss at home. What comes natural to us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Maybe I can share one South African moment with you. So, a couple of weeks ago, so the way the hospital works is really a rehabilitation unit.
Okay.
We also have a unit. So, the UK's mental health setting is excellent in how they support service users.
Yes.
So you have a community team and then you have the inpatient hospital team. So I'm on the inpatient hospital team. So we had a client, she's British born. She came into the hospital and then the very first ward round, we're connecting with the people from the community. So you usually see 4 or 5 people on the screen and then we maybe 5, 6 people outside. And this specific day, I immediately picked up. We were 4 South Africans on that team, 2 in the community, and then 2 in the hospital. And I felt so proud because everybody was so jacked up and so clued up on this patient's care. And I thought to myself, that is why we get hired. We are excellent at what we do. And here we are serving the king's people, because I even got emotional that day. I said to the psychologist, so she's South African, I said, did you notice this moment that happened? There was the psychiatrist, there was the social worker, and it was the 2 of us. Yeah, we are people with excellent. Like our standards drop, because that is just the South African
Hard working.
So that was my proud South African moment.
Think about it.
Lovely.
We could do it at home,
Yeah.
100%.
No, definitely. No, lovely. No, we are great. Even though we come with a lot to the table as South Africans. But I mean, when you're abroad and you see your own people, I can only imagine the feeling and camaraderie, the fears that comes with all of it. But just coming back to community, and of course we got high crime rate in South Africa. I mean, like in your street, or your community, what are the things that we call in police for in your area, in your farm, on the farm side of life? What problems do you guys have then?
Zero.
I know.
Really? Not the burn getting, but no burn getting stolen, of course, but nothing.
Nothing.
Road rage.
Road rage, maybe.
And no one gets called out for
The only thing, is the only thing that can happen to you is to get knocked by an SUV.
Wow.
I'm going to yoga class or something like that.
And I believe like roads are like a little bit more narrow and traffic's a bit more hectic. Was that more in London side, in the city?
Yes. So, in the village, they're even narrower.
Because the cars are parked outside, isn't it?
Yes. So we got a car. So Andrea uses it for her work and things. So because I work from home.
Okay.
But there's a particular road just here behind us that we don't use. We just made a decision and we're not going to use that road.
This is chaos.
Yeah,
Because
it's chaos.
it's too narrow. So when people are coming down and people are coming up, sometimes they can't keep moving. They force you all have to reverse back like 10 cars
Oh
back.
my.
So they get aggressive. So yeah,
And we don't want to get angry.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Okay, no, interesting.
Yeah. And you know,
And driving on the main road, what's it called, the roundabout. There is a rule at the roundabout. You just keep moving. You know, like us, it's almost like a yield, and then you wait for the car on the right or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the four-way stop. You got to keep moving. The whole idea.
Yeah, you got. And they actually stick to the rules.
Yes. And then the only way of learning how to drive, but they drive so much faster. I don't think they stick to the speed limit.
So what was interesting for us is you don't see roadblocks. You don't see stops on the road.
Yep.
You ask yourself, how are the policing? Even no one, but
it's all cameras.
Yeah, there's a lot of cameras around. So, but like on a Friday night, you expect. I know, though, it's like you expect there's gonna be a roadblock somewhere.
Nothing.
It took a long time to get used to that. They hardly do roadblocks apparently.
No, very different from Cape Town, Joburg, and South Africa in a whole.
No, definitely.
Yeah, the interesting thing is what the English are saying that the crime rate has increased a lot. But I get from the family, it feels so minimal because of
it's non-existent.
Yeah,
yeah, it is like
the concern that the crime rate is
yeah, I mean, I don't want to like compare. I mean, like I've been to parts of like Brixton or Clapham, and the guys tell me, you know, they you get stabbed and 1 in 8 or something get killed, and you know, and I said, okay, you know, I understand, but I think, you know, coming from Westbury, you know, 2 people I left, a couple of my friends, you know, I mean, were sort of not involved or anything, but the people that I knew got killed and things like that, you know. And just like I said, I didn't want to compare, but people have always warned us about, you know, be careful and things like that. So, but you know, South African perspective is always people different, you know, even in Cape Town, you know. I wouldn't say they're not violent or anything. It's not, so far what we've seen, it's not what we've seen at all, you know.
No, love it for you.
Interesting fact that people don't tell you when you come over is when I came over, I was trying to buy a knife kit. I looked everywhere, I couldn't find knives, and then eventually I asked a colleague of mine at work, why can't I just find a normal knife kit? There's such strict regulations against knives on knife crime, yeah. So they put very strict rules around guns. So guns are not easily available. Knives and restrictions on knives. So you go to a store and you want to buy a knife. You've got to give your ID in. It's registered like your sharp knives, those type of things. Or it's locked up somewhere and they have to go fix it. It's not just
Really?
I really got to hang for Mahala.
100%.
As well, because you're like, why is it so red around that? But it's because of the increase in night attacks.
Interesting. Yeah.
That is first world problem 100%.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Yeah, so a lot of people I know, and we've spoken about this before, a lot of people move from South Africa to the UK to have a better future for themselves, their families, you know, especially with education and jobs. So how does, from what you know, how does the schools and education in the UK compare or stack up to the schools in South Africa? Are there any major differences? quality of education, hours, amount of kids.
Like, I mean, so, and on that point, I believe I actually had a conversation with somebody recently. Isn't like the school term coming to an end now or something different to, it's almost like the end now or something. Correct me there?
Yeah. So they are summer holidays now, and they're only going back September. So they think some schools are closed from mid-June, and they're going to open up mid-September.
Wow.
So it's for summer in the winter. So they go on a major holiday, like our December holiday happens during the middle of the year.
Okay.
And when they come back, it's like January, the beginning of the school year, it starts in September.
Okay.
So education-wise, after cousin that's been here for 20 years, they're from Kimberley. Their kids, they got a lot of extramural activities like cadets, scouts. They got, in the summer holidays, these kids, they travel on their own, because
Yes.
the UK is so central. They go on their own, with friends and chaperones or anything. They go to France and Spain, and so the world is so much more accessible here, and opportunities. They don't have to worry about crime and things like that. These kids they very much have more opportunity.
I think so we don't have kids, so we don't have like the real life experience of school. But what I picked up is bullying, because we get a lot of young people coming into our services, and we chatting to them like they're 19, 20-year-olds. They relating back to times when they were bullied. And recently, there was a show on Netflix that highlighted the bullying in the UK schooling system, and it caught the attention of Parliament, and they're really looking at it. So there's, I've been on forums with South Africans at the placing that could be schools here, and a big thing that a lot of parents are concerned about, and what a lot of kids have experienced is bullying. So I think that's the one thing. So you could have the smaller classes, and you can have, like Mike says, all the accessibility and but I think that is a major concern in the UK at the moment. And then, there's a lot, they need a lot of youth development. They lost in the sense as well, and need a lot of guidance. So I think for me, because I'm in the mental health service, I'm looking every day more and more young people coming in through the system where it's because of emotional neglect and bullying and social emotional things and environments where they in, so they can have everything. Emotionally, they're not as resilient. They're losing their resilience, which is a challenge.
All right, okay. Thank you for sharing that. So, I mean, to touch on, I don't want to get too deep into politics, but I mean, South Africa politics, the UK politics is majorly different. And tell me, since you've been there, how are you navigating the whole politics situation, and what can you give us some tea about yours? We got the DA, we got the agency, we got the EFF. Do they also fight like that in court there?
Is it also a circus?
Is it also a bit of a circus there? How are you navigating that over there?
To be honest, we actually don't follow much of the news yet.
Okay.
We don't know, so it's almost seasonal here. Like summer season, anti-migrants, so people out there, you see them taking off their t-shirts and going there, summertime, some are having a drink while they're doing it. And then in winter, those protests, because it's too cold, and people don't worry about it. So summer, we find that it's always an anti-migrant. They want Britain back and things like that. And then, in the beginning, we were concerned that they were mixing the folks, the challenge of people coming on the boats and then now mixing it with us that are coming, as qualified, as skilled and qualified.
Yeah.
There was that tension, but they sorted it out. But they also have a parliament where they argue. But we so fixated back home, what's happening back home. We tend to follow.
Okay, follow legally.
Yeah.
I think what's happening with us is we're in a transition, because when I speak to people that have been here 10, 20 years, they have no idea what's happening at home, which is sad to me. But I think in the early days, we constantly keeping up to date with what's happening at home, because it makes us feel connected to home. And the challenge we have is we want to talk about the things at home, but it seems everybody don't talk about it. I think to be honest, it's too much happening at one go. So we and we're bubbling up, and it's like, this is happening at home, that's happening at home. I mean, we have so many family members at home that we're so concerned about what is going to happen with all the things that are happening. So they tend to want to know what's happening here.
So it's almost like we're a bit more hyper-focused about what's happening back home. Every day, we watch the video feeds and things like that, because we want to stay connected,
The one nice thing, though, that we found out in the UK, after you've settled for a couple of months, I actually invited to start voting, and they asked you to come onto the electoral round. And you can immediately start becoming part of the voting and the decision making.
Okay.
So I was like, oh wow. And the other nice thing is, there's a lot of changes that happens with a visa. So that's the one thing we're always staying up to date with, because they change it like overnight. So what we found out is, if there's any visa changes and you have concerns, you just write to your local MP, and they actually respond, and they'll say to you, I like that part of it. It's interactive. It doesn't feel fun. No one's listening to you.
Yes, you get a response.
No, lovely, that's good.
They still use a postal service here effectively.
Wow.
We can post things away. Like the other day, we had a parking dispute, and the only way you could resolve it, you had to type up a letter and then put it in the envelope and post it. I did that. I was so skeptical. I said, okay, I'm posting this thing. And we got the response, and then we resolved it. We were like, what? Through the post.
So a postman packing.
Like the physical letter. I was even staring at it. It was like, what?
No, that's lovely. That interaction is good. I mean, we're on our way when I don't know the TA is going to do something for us, the city that works for us. But no, I mean, even a typed out letter.
I know. I don't know. Right? Emails is the way to go here.
But not even that works. But okay, let's not get into it. I love my life. I love my country. Yes. Yes.
We follow Miss Lou.
Sorry?
On TikTok. We follow Miss Lou on TikTok.
Yes, I love my life. Daar waar jy nou is in die Noorde in die UK and wherever. I love it. Account as well. So, what I want to say, so from my side, I mean, you guys look very contained. You look like a very bubbly couple. I really do love talking to you. And I mean, so I'm assuming that's where you guys going to retire, stay for the rest of your life, maybe a few visits back to South Africa now and then, or we're going to maybe move further on around the globe. What's the plans?
I think, like I said in the beginning, if we had the jobs back home, we'd have been there.
Yeah.
And I think you can stay here 50 years. You'll always know South Africa.
Yeah.
The pluses are traveling and things like that. So we got to find things that, your mind that's going to make it okay, So what people do here, they travel a lot, we know the weather, and that is always the content thing. But we find that people, what they do now is they compensate, they travel a lot in summer, they stick out the winter. We save up money to go back home, every 3 months and reconnect and you come back. Obviously, people, yeah.
I think we don't know where we're going to be. There's so many things happening across the world.
Yes.
And people are eyeing on home to see when things at home are going to favor us. No other way to put it. And when things become favorable for us, and we can get back home, and we can get up, we would take it up like this, without looking back. And then, because we also don't know how the visa things are working here, how it's going to play out. We have to keep our eye out for other countries that might be more favorable for them, the UK as well. So at the moment, we're like free agents. We're just taking it one day at a time. And I think that weeks ago I told Michael something about the UK, what the UK taught me this time. You gotta love life in the moment. Because you guys will relate to me, like in Cape Town with the weather. I stayed in Cape Town for 5 weeks. We both also stayed in Cape Town for a while. It's, the weather can change like this. So what I've learned with the UK is when the sun is out at 5 a.m., you get up there, you make the most of it, because by 6 o'clock, 6 a.m., it's already with rain. And I think we're loving our life at the moment. We're like, we need to embrace it for what it is, but we don't know what's lying ahead. We don't know where God is going to take us, but we're just going to trust the process of the things are at.
We feel we want to be ambassadors to motivate our communities, especially where we grow up. And I'd say specifically for the colored community, we need to motivate the youth. The latest thing that has been happening was the cultural indifferences that are happening back home, black versus colored now especially, is that we should focus on unifying each other, crabs in the bucket, trying to pull each other down. And we can only motivate from the side. We want to motivate youngsters to travel, to broaden their perspective. And I wish we could, I hope, not we will work with communities back home and then get kids to travel and then broaden their perspective,
That's a beautiful, beautiful idea.
We've got 2 kids that we sort of mentor back home. So good cop, bad cop, I'm the bad cop with them. And then we've been mentoring them for a while now and encouraging them to travel, to get them to travel. I've got friends in Westbury that never left Westbury.
Yes. Yeah, there's so many Cape Townians or just South Africans that haven't left their communities. They don't know what is just 2 kilometers, 5 kilometers outside the area. So traveling, I agree with you, 100% opens up the minds, the possibilities.
And supporting, that's why we're supposed to do this podcast to support you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for that. You actually answered Brooke's next question on that. So I'm really just happy to hear, I'm happy to hear that you have a prospering that side and it's working for you that side. And of course, you're so open-minded in, if anything should look up for you on the side, you do feel you will come back. So it's not like South Africa's, you're done with South Africa, South Africa's bad.
You sound hopeful.
Yeah, you sound very hopeful in that regard. And that's very inspiring as well. And definitely, I do agree that everyone should venture out, go experience. Even just solo traveling, whatever kind of travel you do, you can learn a lot about yourself as a couple or even by yourself. So, that is great. And we really do appreciate you guys. Thank you yet again for being on Talks On with Tamara and just taking the time out of your busy schedule. And all the best in the chapters to come or days to come. We can only take it day by day. Tomorrow is not promised at all. And from our side, what we normally say is, life is good regardless. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Have a good evening and we'll chat soon.